Hello there, once again, everyone. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time here on this Wednesday, final evening of September, October, getting set to begin. I'm going to try to get to this as quickly as possible because, once again, there's a lot to talk about tonight, and I don't want this to go on for too long. Here's a look at the temperature anomalies for the month of September. No surprise, September will go into the record books as a warmer than average September here in Northeast Ohio and Western PA. Aided a lot by the beginning of the month where it was in the upper 80s and lower 90s for several consecutive days. But even after that, we've had a lot of days in the 70s during the second half of September, and that's above average by this time of the year. So yeah, it's been a warm month. I will have an October preview forecast either this evening or tomorrow morning on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com. All right, on this final evening of September, it is pretty cloudy out there still. Overcast day today. The clouds thin out as you go off to the north and west. Now, do we see some clearing late tonight? I think that's a possibility, but it's, generally speaking, going to be a pretty cloudy night for us tonight. This rain down in Kentucky is not coming our way. Our front that went through this morning is now along the eastern seaboard or pushing off the eastern seaboard, but this is about as far east as it's going to get. This front is going to hit the brakes and then kind of meander back west and become kind of stationary, and that will have implications on our weather as we head towards the upcoming weekend. Now, of course, it is cooler. Look at this taste of autumn. This is a true autumn air mass here across southeastern Canada. Look up in the Quebec and Ontario provinces. I mean, it's no higher than 39 or 40 up there this evening. A lot of 50s and 60s down into the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast as well. And, I promised you this, that if you stepped outside today, it would feel a lot different. The dew points have come way down. Dew points have dropped to about 50 here locally, and look off to the west, it's even lower, and I think this drier air will continue advecting in, so we can expect some dew points in the lower 40s by late tonight, tomorrow morning. That will allow temperatures to drop very, very nicely. All right, first thing I'm going to do is show you the next couple of days before we start talking about the challenges for the weekend. Let's have a look at Friday first. Tomorrow is an uneventful day, mix of sun and clouds, a couple of degrees below average for highs. All right, here's the setup on Friday. Notice we've got a couple of features here. We have big high up over Hudson Bay. We have our old front stalled along the eastern seaboard. Here's Joaquin down here. And then you have kind of an upper level low. If we looked at the upper levels, there'd be a closed off low down there. There's a little bit of a surface reflection to that, and this is all aiding to cause the front to kind of back westward during the course of Friday. So by Friday afternoon, some rain breaking out along the PA Turnpike. But for high school football Friday evening, I'm pretty sure we're going to get away dry. It's going to be brisk. It's going to be chilly. Notice the isobars are packed pretty tightly here, so it's going to be a breezy day all day Friday. But, this is a 10 to 20% chance of a stray shower or a sprinkle type of a thing Friday evening. Your best chance of seeing a couple of stray raindrops probably in western Pennsylvania as opposed to eastern Ohio. So that's Friday. Now, Saturday, we've been telling you it was shaping up to be a pretty lousy day, and I still think that's the case. Our front has meandered all the way back in here on Saturday. Rain will continue pushing from east to west. That's unusual. Of course, most of our weather comes from west to east. But this is a situation where the rain's going to be coming in from the east. And, boy, with showers around, this stiff easterly breeze, ooh, boy, is it going to be chilly on Saturday. I mean, actual temperature is probably 51, 52, feeling like the 40s with the wind and the rain. Ugh. So this is the NAM model Saturday, and if, this has exactly the right idea, this is just a showery, ugly kind of a day. Here's the GFS for the same time period. Similar idea, a little slower in the timing. It would suggest most of the showers are in the afternoon on Saturday, whereas the NAM, if taken literally, would say, hey, it could rain at any time. Now, does it rain every hour of the day Saturday? I don't think so, but it can rain at just about any point. So if you have outdoor plans Saturday, sorry about that. Not looking so good. Again, temperatures are really going to struggle. Here's the NAM. This is in the middle of the afternoon Saturday. It has 44, 45 degrees. Now, that might be a little bit much, but 50 might be, optimistic. We might stay in the upper 40s on Saturday. Now, in the meantime, here's a look at the NAM model for Joaquin. Here's the GFS. Don't trust the NAM when it comes to tropical systems. It just doesn't do so well. This is on the edge of the NAM's grid. The GFS is a global model, so we trust it a little more when it comes to tracking these things. So here's Saturday afternoon Joaquin's position on the latest run of the GFS. Actually, it's this morning's run, but I can tell you that this afternoon's run was very similar. All right, so what happens with Joaquin? That is our big question. All right, no matter what happens with Joaquin, Saturday, again, a rainy kind of a day. Our forecast challenges really start locally on Sunday. The GFS takes Joaquin and slingshots it into North Carolina or perhaps Virginia. The current run has it coming into North Carolina. If this were to be right, Sunday would probably start okay, but then some rain would push back in the afternoon. Here's Sunday afternoon. So rain pushing back in, just like on Saturday, it would be from east to west. So that's the GFS. The Canadian model has sort of a similar idea. A lot of the tropical models have a sort of similar idea as well. Let me bring up the National Hurricane Center official forecast. Let me take off some of this other gobbledygook. Here's the NHC forecast, and the yellow, the white dots here, getting up to a Category 3, and then more than likely trying to come ashore somewhere in this zone through here. The center of the cone's kind of like right here. So that's the Hurricane Center track. So what's the problem here? Why is this a hard forecast? The European model, oftentimes cited as the best model available, doesn't always get it right, certainly. No model does, but it generally is regarded as a higher quality model. It does not have Joaquin coming into the U.S. It has it going back out to sea. And that really stops us in our tracks from making this a slam dunk forecast. Why does the European do this? Well, this is the European model, the upper level pattern. And the reason why the GFS has it coming into the U.S. is this upper low right here picks it up and slingshots it in. The European stews it around farther south long enough that it misses its ride. It misses its slingshot into the U.S. Instead, that upper low over the southeast kicks it out to sea. It's like a football player kicking a football. It just, instead of sucking it in like this, it gives it the boot out to sea on the European model. So that makes the forecast still especially challenging. If this were any other model other than the European, we wouldn't take it all that seriously, because it is a pretty extreme outlier right now with all the other modeling saying, hey, it's coming in. But it's the European, so we have to be a little bit careful. Now, this, of course, has implications on our forecast. If the European is right and this thing goes like this, then I think high pressure builds in, and Sunday's a nice day. Monday and Tuesday are nice days, if the European were to be right. But if the other modeling, including the GFS, which I'm showing you here, is right, it comes in, it sticks around then. Here's Monday, lots of residual moisture across the eastern U.S., a showery, cool day for us Monday. Tuesday, kind of similar. It's starting to push away, but there could still be a sprinkle or a shower. So our current forecast that you see me present on TV definitely leans in this more pessimistic direction. But it's not a slam dunk. If the European scores a coup here, which it very may well do that, then our forecast would need to be adjusted significantly for Sunday and early next week, and it would be a nice adjustment. Sunshine, mild temperatures. The European can score these coups. If you remember Sandy in 2012, which came into the New York City area, out several days, the European was the only model that was showing that. The other models were out to sea. So the European, when it goes against a lot of the other modeling, can oftentimes, it has a history of scoring a coup. So we have to take it seriously. All right, so that's tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Again, more on October coming up in a blog post on my weather blog. I will have the updated 7-day forecast tonight on 21 News at 11. Thanks for watching Weather Geeks. We'll have another edition of this video posted Thursday evening.